Art students, welcome back to another video. And today is December 25th, 7:27 at the time of me filming that. So happy Christmas to anybody that's celebrating. And yeah, instead of me rooting around under a tree looking for some presents I might have, I'm here doing a lesson for you guys because that's how much I care about you. All right, so today I'm going to do a female pose and get into some of the shapes that you'll use doing the female pose. I'm looking at my glasses like I need to put these glasses on, but I have a pair of glasses on already. So I'm crazy and I'm old. So yeah, I have like 4 pair of glasses, and at any time, let me clean these. They are floating around my room or on my head. And there have been times when I've been wearing glasses and I pick up another pair of glasses and I'll try to put them on top of those glasses. So that's the first sign of becoming senile, I guess. I don't know. We'll see. So what I want to do, as I say, I'm going to do a female, but I'm going to do a quick drawing first. Then I'm going to draw the slow drawing and show you how I did it. So let's start with the quick drawing first. Let's get that out the way. So here we go. All right, so there you have the almost finished product. I'm going to ink this again. I'm going to ink this like I did in the last video and add the fixings, because when I draw fast, there might be some parts that are wrong. So whenever you draw, I always say stop. Before you ink something, stop, walk away from your picture, turn it around, and then wait for a few minutes and then come back and look at it, and you'll say, okay, that's not right, or I can fix that, or something like that. Because when you look at something and you're, especially if you're in the flow, you're like, yeah, this is good, this is good, this is good, and you don't really see because your brain is like, yeah, I'm kicking this out, it's good. But always walk away from your picture. Another good thing is if you have a mirror in front of you, you can take it like I do and then just look at it in the mirror, and you can actually see mistakes as well. I'm thinking it's pretty good right now. I might be able to move this shoulder over a little bit, but other than that, yeah, it's not too shabby. But as I say, I'm going to walk away from it before I ink it. But I'm going to keep it on camera right now as I show you guys how to draw what I just drew. Talk about drawing the female anatomy. And that's another reason why I use the red pencil. Some people are like, why do you use red pencil? Why do you use blue pencil? Because once I get my whatever black down, then I can go back or gray or whatever color this is. I can't even think of what this is called right now. This lead. Once I do the lead, I can go back over it in red and correct something, and that way I can see it. And if I need to, I can go back in blue and correct it, you know, even more. So now I'll know what line I'm using as a finish line. Yeah, so okay. Now, when we do women, when I do women, you know, everybody does something different. So you can see 100 different videos saying do it this way, do it this way. But you have to develop your own style eventually. So when I do women from the front, it's always 2 triangles. It's going to be crooked because I'm going fast. Triangle, and this is going to be from your shoulders to the crotch. And I do another triangle like that. And that gives you your basic shape of the female. Now you can make this wider, you can make this more narrower, depending on what type of shape that you want with the female. And then you can just go straight down, and I'll do the legs. And then I'll chop this off going in like this. So this is a triangle, another type of triangle. I'm just chopping this in because I'm going to put the shoulders right here, or the delts, and then I'm going to put the arms right here. So you see the shape of the female, and then of course the shoulders are another triangle. The neck is another triangle upside down or V up to that point. Then you bring straight up, and then you put your head, which is another triangle or V, and then you do your oval. It's just shapes, and as I keep saying, I know people are tired of doing it, but it's the truth. It's the absolute truth. And sometimes I need this light, this extra light, because there's a glare from my pencil and my fluorescent light above. There's a bad glare. It's hard for me to see. So yeah, as I say, it's the truth. If in the book that I did, this is another triangle. And then this is another triangle here. I did a how to draw female book, but if you don't have like editors and proofreaders and so forth, it really bugs you that you try to put stuff out, and every time you turn around, something comes out wrong. So I'm the type that I have so many ideas always running that if something doesn't work out, I'll say, let me go jump to the other idea. And that's really bad because I have so many products that are sitting on a shelf, basically ready to go out. So actually, I did this like a kite or a diamond. That would have been a kite. And then this is another triangle right here. And it is, I don't know how many times I gotta say it. It is so simple to draw when you have a good teacher or someone to show you how simple it is. A lot of these videos, they'll show you, oh, this is how I draw. And these guys, I ain't gonna lie, these guys are some good drawers, but they really don't show you how you can draw. They show you how they draw. And that's the one thing that really bugged me. And that's something that got me doing YouTube. So yeah, so it's triangle, 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 or V, 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 V. I'm looking for a pen to prove it. That one. This one, you can do this down here, and then this right there, and then this right there, and then this right here, and then you have this right here, and you have this right here, and you have this one right. This goes straight up. You have this right here, and then there. And then, you know, you can do but just ovals, circles and ovals for shoulders and arms, and then the hand. And that's kind of almost like a triangle right there. Put your thumb here, you know, that you have to bend it in that one finger, and that in your thumb, that one bend in your thumb, and then your fingers like that, curve that around, and then you have a female body. Simple. Okay, so did that. Okay, that's how I do a front female. Now, if I'm going to the side, like that one, it was fast. So I'll do the letter K. I'll do the letter K. like that, an open letter K. Now that's profile or 3/4 view. So if I'm going to do a 3/4 view, I'm going to put the line right there. I'm going to curve that because you want that to go back. You don't want it to go straight up. This is going to be my shoulders. This is going to be my crotch right here. But with this one, I will do that. I'll do my V. And then going up, this is going to be the head. Cut this off the same way you cut this off. Shoulders, breasts, which is the heart. Go back and look at other videos. The heart. You have some shoulders there. You have your stomach here. The hip, of course, is going to go there. And your legs are going to go here. And then your other arm could come down however you want your arm. Simple. And then, of course, you got your shoulders. You have your shoulders again. You got to get your shoulders again and the neck right there. And as you do, you bring it in and out. Like this is way too far, so I'll bring this in. But this is your basic shape, and your shoulder is going to be right here over top of that breast, arm. And if you want to bring that in more, bring that in more. If you want to keep it out more. So once you get the basic shape, then you play with it and get, exactly what you want from it. Or you can make it bigger or smaller. And it would be the same way if I'm going the opposite way. It would be my K. What do I have it? My K. Letter K. Same thing. Shoulders, head, arms. Like that. It's just simple. It's simple. For those of you who are new at the channel, I taught myself to draw. It wasn't easy, but I started breaking it down to simple shapes because we have no problem drawing shapes. We're not afraid to draw shapes. So I looked at everything as a shape, and I started drawing the shapes, and I put them together, and finally I learned how to draw quickly and easily because every time I throw a body part down, I'm thinking of a shape. I'm not thinking, oh, the arm. Only at the end will I think, okay, because the arm is like this and it's flexed or it's not flexed, it's going to be like that. The muscle connects and it goes up under there. This one is going to be smaller. The elbow is going to be here. This has a curve to it. The hand is going to be shaped like this. You might see some of the thumb, which is just two pieces. My ear just, not popped, but it just tightened up. Each finger is like that. So yeah, it's just, you get your shapes down, and then that's when you have to study the body. That's the part that I say everything connects. And how does it connect? It has to connect some certain way. And once you get all those connections right, you're good to go. And then there's a difference between a male and a female body. You understand that. Okay, my computer's jumping up from my Norton, and I hate this thing when it does that. Where is my, there you are. Every time I get started, the little Norton, and you click the X, and it doesn't want to, don't show again, and it doesn't want to get off of the screen. All right, so profile, real quick, profile. Same thing, profile, which way we're gonna go? We're gonna go front. This is the front, this is the back. Profile. And this time I won't go like this on the profile, I'll do this. So the head is gonna get that curve again, get that curve. This is gonna curve up into the neck, and gonna be the head. You don't want to put the head too far. You don't want to put that head too far out in front. But this is quick. This is just a quick. Neck goes back. Collarbone's right there. The breast is right here. It goes up. Your shoulders. Her shoulders are going to go. And they'll be in the back. They won't be in the front. They'll be in the back. The arm is always bent. Let me do the body before I throw that arm in there. So this is going to be the back. It goes right up into the shoulders. Goes down into that center piece, that little piece. This, instead of being flat, at this point you want to curve it like that. So here's the breast. The breast's going to go up to the arm. The bone, stomach, the leg goes like this, and then this goes down into the crotch like that. Then you put your arms on. So you're still using the same shape, that K, that letter K, curve that. Whether you're doing a 3/4 view or a profile view, you don't want to go way like in the middle, because then it'll be like she's bending over, exercising. And then you can just use the 2 triangles for that. The more you're facing the front, the more you can use just the triangles. But just remember the K and the triangles for that. So at this point, I promised somebody that I would show you how to do a big woman. Now, people always want to do like Hulks and, you know, bigger characters. And all it is just, you're just making the muscles bigger. You're just taking the same shapes that you have to form, and you're making that person bigger. Now, I don't know how big you want the character, but you have the body. Let me use this one. You have the body, right? I think he said more muscular woman, so bodybuilder type woman. And if you know the muscles that are building, if you know the muscles as they are building, the shape of the muscles. Let me cut this off. I don't know if I need this now. I do. Sorry. Then it's easy. So let's do the chest is always going to be right here under the neck. This is how I do it now. This is how I do it. Some people might show you differently. It works for me, and it can work for you. You can do a triangle there too. No big thing. And then just turn that into the upside down heart. Okay, and it's got to go back. So here's my arm. So number one, a female is usually like this. Let's just say she won't have too many cuts. But if you want to do a female, depending on how big, you know, if you want to do a Hulk female or just a bodybuilder type female, make it, swell it up a little bit more. Give it, same as a man. But there are some muscles that, like a man will swell up more, and a woman will just, she won't swell up as much. So she'll have more lats, she'll have lats, and the breasts, and the breasts won't get bigger unless you just want to draw it bigger, because the muscles are like below the fat. So she'll get that, and maybe get some bigger hips, deeper cut muscles. Because if I do a female, I'll do just this. And then that's it. That would be it for the stomach, you know, belly button for female, because I don't really want them to be, you know, muscular, unless I want them to be muscular, you know, like that. But you still have the big hips, and then the big legs. Women's legs can get, you know, really massive. And then of course the shoulders. It'll be like a man, but then you still have the feminine face. You have the feminine, the shape of the face, which is still that shape V right here, and then go up, curve around. The neck, I wouldn't mess with the neck, but it's your character, so it's hard for me to say how would I draw somebody's character when I don't know your character. So that, and then of course you want to get those tight arms again, depending on how muscular you want your female. But as long as you keep like the breasts right, you keep the hips in, you can bring them out more. I think those are your main 2 determining factors on how to draw, you know, somebody that's big. So basically you're just taking the shape, this shape, okay, whatever part, that could be your shoulder, and you're just making it bigger. That's all it is. You're just making it bigger, and you're adding more definition to it. And if she's not big enough, you make it bigger again. As I say, the breasts are not going to grow, but it depends on, you know, your size. If you want bigger breasts, then take them off of the side of the body like this. Still going to do that heart. Take them off of the lats. If you want smaller breasts, keep them in the line. The bigger, the heavier, the more they're going to drop down. Keep them in that line. If you want bigger ones, you just you take them off just like this. You take them off the actual bone, I guess you could call that. So hopefully that did help. As I said, I don't know if you're drawing like the powerful bodybuilders, but just keep this shape, make this shape wider, add more muscles to it, and you've got it. Yeah, so that's going to be for that. So hopefully you got that. Now, let's do this real quick. So now you know the basic body shape type that I use for females, and hopefully next year, because it is December 25th, Christmas, Merry Christmas to you guys, you know, celebrating. I know you're not looking at this video at this particular time, but yeah, hopefully next year I'll be able to get all my stuff out, because as I said, I plan on retiring from my job and do this full time. So that's why I could not keep getting videos out every week. I used to try to do 3 a week, cut back to 2 a week. Now it's like 1 a week. But since I'm on vacation until the 3rd, I believe, I'm going to try to kick out more stuff. All right, this position right here. So she's leaning down. So that's the first thing. She's leaning down. I'm going to use red. You get your, and there's my K again. Okay, that's my K. So she's leaning down. The more you put that curve, the more you lean down. You don't want to get too long and too short here. You want to kind of keep it half and half, and then cut it across. I could bring this up a little bit more. That one's too long, okay? So that's my thing. Now, another thing is when you lean forward, you're going to see that collarbone come down, okay? So there's my center line going here and then there. So this is going to actually turn in. This is where that body's going to turn, right there. There's my collarbone here. Don't worry about this. My shoulder's going to be, it's going to, depending on that how that arm turns, this collarbone can come down or it can stay up. Now that's going to be entirely on you. So this is curving around. So this collarbone is going to be here, right on the end of this delt. Go back, Brian. Slow down. This delt is going to be right here on the end of this collarbone. And since she's coming down and holding this heavy thing, she's going to have this curve in her shoulder. So that's going to be my arm. And since I'm going to have the arm more kind of facing up, I'm going to do this curve right here, right there. So that is going to be that cylinder right here. And I just did the cylinder to show you the direction of the character arm. So I'm going to put the head, and notice that I put the head last when I did this one, if I'm not mistaken, very last. As I say, don't do the head first. So the neck is going to be a V. You want to bring it up too much, and then I'm going to put my head. This one might be leaning more than that one, which is fine because that's more action. This is the head. Now, I have the head where it's looking back, because to me it just looks like, you know, she could be looking back. And then I can bring the shoulder around. I would adjust that. I'd probably adjust that head again later. Yeah. No, get it off there because it's bugging me. So let's go with the body. So we have this shoulder is going to come down. Let's throw that breast. Since he's leaning, that breast is going to hang down more than that one. Because remember, think about a water balloon. Think about a water balloon. If you do a water balloon and you pick it up, it's going to drop depending on the size of the breast. So you have this one out here, and you have this one which is going to be covered by that arm, which is probably why I won't get demonetized, because I'm not drawing whole breast. So, okay, we have this. We're going to have this other part of the arm coming down, which is just a cylinder. Cylinder or oval. If I'm in a rush, I do oval. And then we have the hand. Now, the hand is just basically just a square. When you have a hand, which there, my Norton just jumped up again. This thing, I want to just delete it, but I don't want to get a virus. Hold on 1 second while I get this thing off. And it'll say, don't show again, but 10 minutes later, it'll jump up again. What's this hand? Okay, hand, you close it, it's more of a square. Okay, now, if you see, and it's good with that light, you see this kind of triangle, it goes back like that, and a square in front. So if you're doing a hand, square like this, and then you got this, your back part, which is a triangle. And then you just, depending on what hand, you just separate your fingers like that. And if this was the inside, you have this little curve right there, and this one always moves a little bit more forward. And then you have this dip, because whatever, if you're holding something, it's going to come right from out of that dip. And then this finger's never really like down with the rest of the group. It's always like a little bit more up away from everybody. That's just how it is. So I'm gonna stop saying I'm going to do a hand video as soon as I can get it to where you guys can understand it, because a hand takes so many variations. It's just ridiculous. So I'm trying to figure out how to show you guys one way to do 1,000 ways. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So what I do is I do this little triangle here, depending on how much of this back part you want to see or you're seeing. Again, you could be drawing of, you know, whatever, and that hand will not be this particular way, but for this particular way, I'm just showing you. And then you have this little square. This is going to be longer. This is going to be shorter. It's going to come back at an angle like that. Okay, because remember, this first finger is, even though it's not as long as this one, you'll cut it and it'll start to curve out. This one this way, this one, and the fingers will actually come in 1, 2, 3, 4. The fingers will actually come in. You see how let's see if I can do it without holding it. That it comes in at this angle. This one can go straight down. This one goes more straight down, and these start to come in, so you get that curve. So if you're doing it the other way, which I'm doing this, it's the opposite way. That's all it is. It's just the opposite way. You get this one finger, and then curving it down. So this one finger will be like that, and then you will see the bend, whereas this other one you kind of won't, depending on how much you bend. So that's one thing I say when people say, this is how you draw the hand. No, that's how you draw one position of the hand. It's like the hand will take 1 billion different positions, and you see some palm, and then that whatever it is will run through this, because these fingers won't be like this. If I'm holding something, these fingers are going to come out. Let me get my little thing. If I'm holding this, you see how these fingers, you're going to see that bend, and you can see this other finger, you're going to see the way these curve, and you're going to see just a little bit of the front finger. And again, that depends on how you're holding something. See this little thing. Depends on how you're holding something. So as I said, once I figure out how to teach you guys how to do hands, I'm going to do a hand video. Maybe it's going to be a couple parts. So of course, you're going to have this go back, which is going to connect with the bicep. And you have this. If she's long, she's really long. So then, you know, I'll do this for the men. I don't know. I'll do this for the men. I don't do that for the women. But sometimes you might have to. And then that. So the hard part is done. This is the hard part. The rest is pretty simple if you figure out where you want to put your arms and your legs. So I have this leg coming down. And because I'm used to drawing men all the time, you know, they'll be thick and powerful. And then this leg coming out. Now I said I was going to do that last video where you can kind of adjust by just having this middle part, your torso and your hips. You can adjust your arms in any direction. You can adjust your legs in any direction, as long as they're not like just falling out, falling away from the, as long as it's balanced. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to put this head. I lifted the head up because, she's kind of looking that way. So she's going to have more neck like that. Okay, so I can put the leg this straight down. I can put this one back. I can put this one back. I can keep that one back. I can put this one more forward. But as I say, it depends on your balance what you want to do. I could have put these arms out more, like that. So, and that doesn't change this. It will not change that unless you twist her more. But if you are looking at a position, like you say, oh, that's nice, I'm going to draw that, and you get this right, and you can't get the arm right or the leg right, just change it to suit you. Don't. It doesn't have to be the exact same thing. It's your drawing, your creation. So I'm erasing these extra legs. So you notice how I did the legs, the hips, they'll come up, that's why the hips, they'll come up into the hip, and then they'll go down and then out. That's what shapes this. You have this part on both sides, which will shape your crotch. And then you have this part, because I can't explain that right now. It's kind of pinching, yeah, so you have this and this, then you have your legs. It's gonna have fat legs because that's just what she's gonna have right now. This is gonna come and this is gonna pinch here too. But that's when you really get into it, and this leg is up, but that's all right. And I'm gonna have her just kind of like lean on this leg. It's not gonna go out. I'm gonna bring it down like she's crouching down, about to swing that big old whatever. And this one, I'm gonna bring that. Yeah, let's bring that back a little bit more. So when you bend your legs back, you have to draw through, because your calf is gonna be it's gonna be behind that part of the leg. You don't want that too long, and then I'm going to, let's just put her right here. Put that foot right here, and that other foot is going to be on the ground. And if you notice, that is a triangle right there. That's half a triangle, actually. The foot is usually half a triangle. And then you just round it off the heel, the toe, like that. And then the part about drawing, which is most fun, is you create stuff. This does not have to be that particular weapon. It could be any kind of weapon that you choose. It could be Thor's hammer if you just want to, do a Thor female. It could be, I don't know, ball and chain. Well, that would be a little long. If she's choking up on that bad boy, it would have to be like more like this. Ball and chain kind of thing. It could be anything you want, because they could be holding any type of weapon. So just using the shapes is very simple to draw. So I think I dropped a lot of knowledge on you today on drawing females. Now the hard part is like making sure you don't make them more muscular. You want to keep the shape. You want to keep it slim, but still keep that round shape to it, to where it looks like a female, unless you're trying to draw the big muscular female. So 41 minutes, 45 seconds without cuts, or I still have to add my ending and beginning. So about 47 minutes, not too bad at all. Oh, and then I'm going to, off camera, I'm going to ink this and correct this, and this will be the ending. So stay tuned for the ending. And it'll also probably be the thumbnail as well. So yeah. Yeah, that's going to be it for this lesson, other than me showing you this. Well, I'll just show you this before I end it all. No, I'll just end it all and then show you this. I'm rambling. All right, so yeah. Yeah. All right, here we are with the finished product, pretty much. I don't like to do too much inking and thick lines to a female, because one, if I put too much into a female, then YouTube will be like, oh, no, you're drawing nudes. We can't put that up. So, and then usually I don't like to put too many lines, like muscular, lines, because a female shouldn't be that muscular unless you're drawing a muscular female. So yeah, this is one reason, and I'll get into that as I get into more of action pose positions, why and why not, and why and why not, the whole 9 yards. So anyway, that's gonna be it for this video. So I'm going to go back to bed, because I can. I'm on vacation, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Keep drawing.